Climate change is a term known by all, but how much do people actually know about it? Do they know what causes it? Do they know how we can fix it? Or do they even think it's a problem? That's what I decided to find out.
It's the heating up of the world due to increasing of greenhouse gases.
Like the change in weather and like the change in how cold or hot it is.
Well, climate change occurs when the weather patterns around the world change to a rate that they influence the actual average temperature and the conditions in a certain area over time.
When you get down to the nitty-gritty, climate change is simply the depletion of our atmosphere from increased rates of emission.
Climate change is the decreasing of the ozone, so our greenhouse gases are trapped.
Earth moves closer to the sun as we go around.
Some would say it's cyclical and occurs as a natural event caused by some things to do with the sun. Others would say it's contributing human factors. And some would say it's the pollution.
And it's occurring because the emissions that we're letting off into the atmosphere are actually altering the atmosphere.
I think climate change is a problem to an extent. I know that the Earth has natural heating cycles, but I believe climate change definitely makes them hotter than they have before.
I think it is very real.
I just don't know if I fully support the fact that we are the sole influence of the climate change.
Right now I'm actually pursuing my master's degree in environmental science. So I've been exposed to a lot of the scientific information and the studies that have been done on climate change. And that's why for me it's so shocking that people can actually be climate deniers.
It affects me because it makes the weather very sporadical.
I don't like to be cold, and the change of the seasons kind of messes me up.
Well, climate change will affect me in the way that crops are produced in the United States and elsewhere, and perhaps the temperature changes in the state we live in, maybe, or the number of people in a certain area.
I love going to the beach. I love marine life. I love, eating honey and avocados and all of these things that are provided to us by nature, and climate change is easily going to wipe all that out if we let it continue.
I think we can fix it by finding a renewable energy source and trying to limit the amount of greenhouse gases that we emanate into the atmosphere.
Less pollution, safer cars.
Always, of course, believe in decreasing pollution, no matter what, but I think that the climate alone, I think volcanoes and activity like that also affects it. So I think if we all did try to decrease pollution, it might have an effect, but in the end, I still believe that there's a lot of natural forces we just can't control.
I propose is that we work more communally. Right now, and I don't want to get too political, but right now our political government refutes the idea that climate change exists, and as a result they're not allowing research to be conducted. They're prohibiting access to knowledge, particularly in the EPA. And I think as citizens we need to do more than just monitor our own water usage. We need to use our voices and make it very clear that this is an issue that's important to us.
I think it's definitely a worsening problem as we get more people into our population. The need for natural gases increase.
Yes, I do.
I think the climate has definitely changed in the last few years, but if we look at the patterns of the thousands of years, you can see similar patterns in the past.
As an EVS student studying at the beach, I get to see a lot of this firsthand. So I'm watching as sea level rise is actually destroying our beaches, destroying the wetlands, taking away habitats for high rates of biodiversity. I see dead coral wash up on the beach all of the time. And while this is all a lot of water, ocean-based stuff, this is a cascading event.
I'm surprised to hear that some people don't believe that climate change is caused by pollution. Studies have shown that air pollution is the leading cause of climate change. While we may not be able to go back to the way things used to be, we can still stop climate change from worsening even more. Air pollution stems from land and water pollutants, so we need to stop throwing our garbage in the ditches and start picking up what we see. Stop driving short distances and start walking them. because this will only get better if we can work together to make a change.